This is an excerpt from the Wait Are These Guys Friends podcast. I feel like I should have made like a custom background for the YouTube version and like pivoted over and had like an animation of us flying and doing some amazing stuff. But I've had a really long week in my personal life and it was just far too much. It was one of those things where I thought I should do more. Let's talk Superman. So the new movie, Superman 2025, because like...
Is that how we're going to like call it till... Like from now on, I'm just curious. Like,
I mean, it's called Superman. I'm not going to say Superman 2025 every time in this conversation, unless I need to directly reference.
Oh no,
the
I
fact
just mean when we're like
about.
when we're talking about in the pantheon of all the Superman movies going like from now on. If we say, oh, you know, I kind of thought Man of Steel was this. Are we going to say Superman 2025 versus Superman was it 78?
I think that's exactly what it's going to be, or
okay.
It's going to be the Christopher Reeve or David Cornsweet. It's going to be either the actor or the year. It's the same thing that happened with, and what I was going to say is, it's kind of a modern trend,
or
regardless of
you could do
quality.
the gun Donner. You could do that, right?
I think that's too niche even for a lot of people.
Okay.
I realize directors are popular, but that's more of a niche thing. Even as much as James Gunn has become a celebrity to advertise this movie and get his face out there as the head of DC, it still might be a little too much. But all I was trying to say in all of this, and I lost it, and I don't want to go back to it, so fuck it, I'll cut this out and move on. I have the point, it's just too far removed now. So
I've derailed you.
No, it's okay. It was a title. Well, you know, fuck it, maybe I'll keep it in. And the title thing is a very modern thing to just release a new movie, but keep the original title. Because I was going to say, they say Halloween 2018 versus Halloween 78. You know, stuff like that. Oh, hey, also 78. What a year for film.
There you go.
We love to reboot in movies from 1978. So Superman 2025 Cornsweet gun, however you want to say it, all in one rip, one breath. Bob, we had a baby, it's a boy. That's a topical reference for everybody. Did you even get the reference? Am I too...
No. I just laughed to amuse you.
Yeah, it's fair. I'm a really big fan of the polite laugh in a professional environment. That's yes, thank you. Do you want me to keep derailing us and tell you what reference it's from, or move on?
You might as well, since we're already halfway there.
It's an old 1-800-COLLECT commercial from where he would make a collect call. He would make a collect call, and he couldn't pay for the call. So in the part where you would say your name, he would say, "Hi, it's Bob. We had a baby. It's a boy."
Right.
And
I do remember that.
Yes, thank you. I'm topical with my references from 1998 technology commercials that literally don't exist anymore.
Yes.
Listen to the show, folks. If you're listening, you're like, this is what I'm here for. This is what I'm here for.
Can you place collect calls to cell phones, right?
Do collect calls still exist? I thought they got rid of collect calls. Or was it just the companies like 1-800-COLLECT that went out of business?
Yeah, I think that probably. But I mean, if you're
still make collect calls.
I mean,
it is still possible.
I mean, there's not a lot of places you can do it from. So, but
however, cell phone providers do not allow collect calls generally, making it more challenging to reach someone on their cell phone. So 1-800-COLLECT is still in business.
So you would have to be calling from a payphone to a landline.
Yeah, like it was 1998.
That's how you make a collect call. Fascinating.
Yeah, I don't know anyone with a landline. My 84-year-old grandma does not have a landline. Wait, yes, she does. She just also has a cell phone. I lied. She definitely does.
My in-laws have them, and that's about the only one.
Do they also have a cell phone and still use both? Okay, yeah, there it is.
I'm sure it was a package deal. I think they still do that. Because they have, I think, cable internet still and cable
100%. I got
providers. So it's like a,
Okay. Anyway, boy, this is some hardcore derailment on every way. As always, editor Mike is going to hate what recording Mike did to him in a day and a half. I've cursed my own name so many times days later, just like, you motherfucker. So,
damn you, Pastor
anyway,
Mike.
Would you like to talk about the movie that we keep saying we're going to talk about?
Let's please.
So without diving into too much plot specifics, and one of the things I'll get to when we get to full, let's do a little non-spoiler talk, and then we'll dive full spoiler talk. So right now, let's do a short, do not hit big plot spoilers, don't hit stuff that could ruin it for people.
Okay.
It is, thankfully, not an origin film, and it is all the better for it. is I don't think anyone was clamoring for an origin. I don't think anyone needs to see the origin, hear the origin. Here's my question. Do they even recap the origin at any point, or are they just assuming you fucking know this at this point? Like, is it mentioned? I guess, yes, on the news reports, possibly when they briefly talk about Superman.
Yeah, and when he's in the fortress,
Yeah.
it's sort of, there's sort of parts that give you, I mean, the robots become a little bit expository at times.
That's true. That's true. Well said. So I guess hitting spoiler-free points.
But we don't
you,
spend 20 minutes doing it,
right.
like, or
it's not the
flashbacks or stuff like that, which is good.
There's no Marlon Brando getting a short film in here to make it happen. So my question to you then, did you like it?
I did. My first note that I had was finally a return to goody two shoes Superman. Like it just, I didn't mind Man of Steel. I'll give them credit on that. That didn't. I mean, that may be more of a credit to
Henry Cavill.
Brandon Cavill. Thank you.
Brandon Routh, the Superman Returns / the CW.
Oh right, yeah. So
and then Tyler Hoechlin later, but that's the whole thing. Continue.
I was kind of sick of brooding and, oh, I'm so overwhelmed by my superpowers and should I do this for good? Am I conflicted? Like, no. I mean, Superman is, and they show a lot of this in here, will go out of his way, physically cannot see anyone come to harm, like is good inherently, and just everything that is almost sickeningly like a good guy. And that's always been, I mean, I'm sure there have been arcs within the comics and stuff like that, but I would say the modern just kind of interpretation or the base knowledge within, anybody that only knows sort of about Superman from the movies or that kind of thing. It just has a very base knowledge of him. That's what he is. He's a good guy. He saves people from the bad guys, and there is not a gray area there. It is black and white, good and bad. And he is the good. And once again, he is the good in this movie. And it was like nice to see that it's someone we just completely root for Superman, which is good. That's I love it.
And I also enjoy, it's funny because one of the things I told myself, and I don't remember if I even texted this to you, is I don't want this, for how much I enjoyed this and how much the vibe has changed, to just turn into a Zack Snyder bashing episode, which it could very easily do. And don't get me wrong, there probably will be some. However, there's a reason why tales like there's a Injustice in the comics, which was this multi-year run of an Elseworlds, which is what DC calls their multiverse. Mm-hmm. That was an Elseworlds where Superman broke bad and was truly terrible. The only reason a story like that can play as such an extreme and be so engrossing is because the character is so good and pure all the time as his base state. You need a Superman who is the light. And also, I love what they're doing in this, and this is not a spoiler, I don't think, because it's in the trailers. He's not aura farming and becoming a Jesus allegory again, like he is in multiple movies, not just Snyder, because he's not the first superhero this time. The world feels, and this is actually what I love just in general, the world feels lived in. This world has been around. Things have been happening. Superman showed up, is here, is clearly the best of them already. And everyone's looking at him like, okay, so he's the standard now. But this world existed. It didn't go along seeming boring and normal and suddenly Superman just changed our perspectives. And I'm ready for a world where we just hop in and can live in the DCU. And I'm derailing from the movie, and I'm going to stop, but I'll say, the DC comics are fucking weird when you let them be, way weirder than Marvel could ever be. And if they let DC just have some goddamn fun for once, if we can do this, it's going to be amazing. Back to the film. Good performances, good pacing. I will say I think the plot is weak as a plot because I actually didn't feel like there was much of a plot. I felt like as much as I enjoyed the performances and the pace and the journey I was on, it really did feel just like a sequence of events in his life mildly related. And
it also felt like the plot was let's hate Lex Luthor. Like, it just felt like, which is fine. And Nicholas Hoult did an awesome job as him. I thought it was fun and well cast. And but it did feel like that was overwhelmingly the throughout the movie, just like, boy, this guy is a real shithead. Like
most evil Lex we've ever seen on screen, I think, properly evil. He doesn't care about a real estate deal, turning kryptonite into a landmass real estate deal. He wants to murder people who are different from him and say you are not human. And that's, again, not a spoiler. That's in the trailer.
Yeah.
So
he refers to him as an it in the trailer, right? Like, isn't that the...
Say again?
In the trailer, he says he's not a him, he's an it or whatever. I think that's like one of the lines that he says.
Yes. Yeah. And that's ripped straight from the modern comics portrayal. That's what I love about it. It's what the animated series got right. It's what the more modern TV adaptations have gotten right. Is Lex Luthor is a bad guy. Lex Luthor is always an asshole, right? Who would do bad things. But he became truly obsessed with the fact that he feels like Superman's cheating, essentially, because he has worked to get to the top of his game, to the top of humanity, and we're worshiping this motherfucker. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I think, I will say it did establish that if we're going to continue this going forward, right, this is opening a realm with these characters and going forward within the DCU, like, that at least we know that he can be the manipulator, not the big bad, but a big bad that
he can always be in the shadows.
His motives are always there. Like, this was not, sometimes superhero movies fall into that trap of the bad guys have a slight redemption or something that's driving their thing, and so we sort of feel sorry for him, and then it doesn't really work when they just make another even harder turn, right? It's very easy going forward. They make more Superman movies, they make more movies that are kind of tangentially with Superman. Like, if Lex is involved, that's not going to surprise us at all for the bad guy, because it's like he has the resources, he has the wherewithal, he has the intelligence, and he has the the drive to get rid of this guy. So that's always going to be there, and I kind of like that they at least introduced that here.
He ain't going to be Loki. He's not turning in anytime. He is not anti-heroing this anytime soon. He is a bastard, and he's going to stay a bastard.
So I like that was sort of... it's a palate cleanser, right? That's kind of what this is. We're resetting, and we're starting, to move from this, which I kind of like. So we can not have to worry about past things that does that weave from the old stuff. We're kind of starting anew from here, and I'm good with that. And
to that point, we mentioned briefly James Gunn. Interesting how forward-facing he's being, I think, as part of the marketing campaign, both as the director and very clearly being advertised as like the head of DC right now for the studios. They're Feige, et cetera, which is not just a line. That's clearly what he's been hired for. It's what it's been stated for. I think they've been doing a very good job of trying to get the word out of this is us starting over. If you, like, we are telling you right now, this is our clean slate. To the point, they're advertising that so well. Like, I don't know if this is something you want to get into now or you want to save it for later. Did you see Kevin Feige's interview this week about Secret Wars?
I did not, no.
He straight up just flat said, well, we're rebooting after Secret Wars. New actors for Iron Man, new actors for Captain America. We're going to cast new X-Men. And it's just like, he's feeling heat right now, I think.
Yeah.
He's feeling heat. He would never have just flat out said that would have been a 3 Comic-Con reveal, he just flat said the interview. And I was like, he knows people are tired of what they've been given, is what I think.
Well, and I think that it's always going to be kind of linked. It's just a timing thing, right? But like Fantastic Four is always going to be linked with this Superman now for going on forward. Like, and it's just because of when it came out. And if Fantastic Four doesn't deliver, that's gonna be another thing where they say it has shifted. It just feels like the wrestling Monday Night Wars at this point.
You're right. You're absolutely right. And it's the DCEU, not the DCU. The ECU.
Sorry, thank you for correcting me.
I was making a point. I wasn't correcting you. I was gonna say a point. That's so you don't need to apologize.
Oh no, but I said it wrong. So
you did. That's what the point I was gonna make is. The DCU is what we're in. I was going to say the DCEU was WCW, and they're done, and they were bad near the end. So we're starting fresh, and here we are. So I was like, no, don't apologize. You're doing great, kitty. It's great.
Go me.
You're doing great, little guy. So trying to think. Oh, the only other point I wanted to say is fascinating dichotomy there with Fantastic Four coming out tomorrow at time of recording. So it should be out by the. This will be out maybe next week or the week after. We'll do a Fantastic Four talk.
Yep.
But Superman, obviously, what started comic books and DC comic books. Fantastic Four in 1961, what started modern Marvel. They'd had Captain America and a few things, obviously, in the 40s. But what started the modern superhero, what started the Silver Age, was the Fantastic Four. So to have these two movies coming out in this battle at this time, I'm sure I'm not the only nerd who sees, accident or on purpose, the parallels of the real world and like, oh, this is things starting again. Here we go. Oh, Kevin Feige also has been very clear in interviews saying that Fantastic Four is a you don't need to do any homework film. He has said that in interviews. And I'm like, man, he is feeling the heat right now.
I mean, I think they're deliberately trying to do that as they bring, these characters into the collective consciousness, and the fact that there have been 2 Fantastic Four movies already that were not very good. So,
and one of those got a sequel that was marginally better, but also not good.
Yeah. So I will say the first one, it was in the middle. It wasn't the second one was terrible, but I actually
thought I liked Rise of the Silver Surfer better than the original 2005 one.
The
2 shitty Fantastic Four 2000s movies, I liked the sequel
retread
better.
Too, right?
Yeah, that was the Michael B. Jordan disaster.
Right. No,
I can't put that on him. That was Josh Trank's fault. But
yeah.
But no, that one we just set aside and we never discuss again. I'm talking about the 2000s ones. I didn't mind Rise of the Silver Surfer.
Oh, I would agree with that. Yeah, I thought you were saying the 2010s one was better.
No, that's a dumpster fire. Good God, no. No. I was remarking that Rise of the Silver Surfer has moments, but it's also still very much that mid-2000s we're scared to really make a superhero movie. Yeah. Galactus is a cloud. A lot of things happen off screen. That's stuff that they're scared to deal with.
Yep.
But what do you say we dive into some spoiler talk and we just say anything we want about anything anytime?
Love it.
Excellent. So, Metamorpho. The first thing that comes to mind. I don't know why that was the first thing I was dying to talk about. There's so many plot elements and characters and beats, but I had missed. I mean, I don't know how I'd missed this. I'd seen the posters for Guy Gardner's Green Lantern. I'd seen the poster for Hawkgirl. I've seen all the other. I missed the Metamorpho poster. So as a longtime comic fan who's been reading comics since he was 8 in 1992, who had these weird appearances of this guy in cartoons and comics, when he showed up, when he was in the movie, it was a genuine, shocking, proper surprise for me. And I'm just like, oh, we're doing this guy. Because that's some obscure shit. Like, I'm in.
It's a gun specialty.
We're doing this in the mainstream, huh? All right, let's get it. My question, how did that character, its plot, its acting, however you want to talk about it, how did it resonate for you who knew nothing going into that at all, flat on this character?
And even didn't even know he was Metamorpho until, like, after the fact, right? Because
they don't say his name. They call him Rex. It's his real name, right?
Rex. Yeah. No, but then, like, without catching it and just noticing it as Lex was introducing him, he said something like Element Man. So I'm like, oh, is that this guy's name, Element Man? Like, I wasn't sure.
The Element Man. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, all right, there you go. But like,
the Element Man is his
Lex
subtitle.
says something about that, and I thought that was like his name, and so I was just going with that. But no, I like the depth to him, right? Like, there's a lot. It's nice sometimes when they're not just robotic. Like, he is clearly being forced to do this bidding, and he's conflicted by it, and just as it kept going, and I like that eventually, and he's just like, you're gonna fix it, right? Like, he's like, I'm trusting you on this, and I like that he knew that he could build, and it's the creating the sun. There's all sorts of cool stuff there. Like, it was just very well utilized for his powers. It didn't feel shoehorned, right? Like, it just that felt like this is part of Lex's brilliance of, I have all these people in my Pocket Universe dungeon, but I know I can use this guy.
Hmm.
And he can use leverage against him because he's a bastard. He'll use his little son against him, which the son's in the comics, right? Like that's
Yeah,
stripped
yeah.
from the comics. Yeah.
Yep. I won't to sit here and say I've read a ton of Metamorpho comics. He's only ever been a, side character on the team guy for me.
Yep.
I know he's had limited runs and miniseries and stuff. But no, that's ripped right out because his father-in-law, Simon Stagg, is also a recurring Batman villain who is a very
Mm.
Lex Luthor type. I'm gonna go. If I take more than 90 seconds to say what I'm about to say, stop me. Okay?
Yep.
This is the moment.
Okay.
Starting now. Simon Stagg is a businessman based out of Gotham who does a lot of cosmetics and creams and different things. And he is very corrupt and he tries different methods of stuff. In the comics and in Batman the Animated Series, you may recall, the Simon Stagg creates a cream that actors help to morph their face and helps
Yep.
smooth out skin. And that's how Clayface gets created. And they have announced a Clayface movie is in development. So I bet Metamorpho winds up in that. And this is all tied together because his father-in-law is the bad guy that enables Clayface to exist.
Okay.
So, which I think I got to check Metamorpho's origin. Is that also how he got fucked up? I don't remember.
Okay.
But was that precise enough for you?
Yeah.
I think I made that happen pretty quickly.
40 seconds, pretty
Oh,
good.
I'm really working on doing this shit faster. I gotta tell you, because I could go.
Then that leads me to, and I haven't done any research into this.
Please.
So if Clayface is the movie, is Batman in that, or
So that's
because he was
the thing.
primarily a Batman villain, right?
Yes. So they have not announced the DCU's Batman. They haven't apparently officially decided if Pattinson's going to be it or not. I actually would be fine with that. I think it would be a very age-wise, disposition-wise, performance-wise, I think it'd be amazing. There might be some concerns on how does that movie fit into this world they built, even though Gotham's Gotham. Logistically, they obviously made it without having to think about any of that. But I think it would be really good. And there are some people who've been like, his Batman's too dark, too brooding. And I was like, yeah, so how great is it going to be when Clark gets him to smirk one time?
Yeah.
If you get Pattinson in as this Batman, and I want the scene. I want the scene. There was on Twitter or Threads or something, there was somebody who posted and James Gunn responded, who goes, okay, we'll talk in a few years. Like, fine, that's what you want? Yeah. Where he goes, here's what I want the first time Batman meets Superman. I want a scene by the end where they're literally sitting down across the table having a cup of coffee together. And at one point, Batman just has to respond realistically and almost unabashedly, because I'm Batman. And James Gunn just responded to the guy. He goes, got it. See you in a couple of years. And I'm just like, man, come on.
Nice.
But to that point, I think that if they could establish Batman exists and just played as the urban legend point at that point, the myth of the night, where villains are like, nah, he kicked my ass, while real people are like, yeah, but was it that or was it the police? Something like that. I think that they could have their cake and eat it too on this one.
Cool.
The question is, how do you have to have that film exist without him appearing in it, probably. So that has to be quite the narrative, because otherwise I feel like you're approaching Sony's Spider-Man villain territory, where I never needed a Spider-Man villain movie without Spider-Man in it. So this is one of those things where Superman was great, and if Supergirl is also great, which is coming next year, James Gunn will have enough goodwill for us to be like, let's see your fucking Clayface movie you're helping to get made.
And I think right after I watched this movie, Superman, that I texted you and said, I think I'm excited for the Supergirl movie, because I think they're gonna bring Crypto back, and but I think it would benefit from what this Superman movie did, in that they bring some co-star superheroes along for the ride, because I think that definitely aided this movie. I mean, we haven't even gotten to it yet, but Mr. Terrific is the best part about this movie. It's like he is great in this movie.
I'm talking about the future. You're right. I want to talk more about the future, and I have stuff I want to talk about for Supergirl, but let's dial back, because Mr. Terrific stole the show. Mr. Terrific stole this movie. What's the actor's name? Do you recall?
It's I don't.
I was
I'm
just
not
gonna
gonna.
say
I'm
Darwin
not
from
gonna.
X-Men First Class, who
I'm
got
not gonna
screwed
pronounce it
over for
right.
being
Yeah,
Darwin.
it's.
Oh, don't worry about it.
Is it Edie Gathegi or Gatigi or
I'm
something
not
like
good at
that?
that
So
either. I'm very, very white and uncultured. It's not a
it's.
good look. Um, but no, he steals the show. He is fantastic, both performance, execution, confidence, the way they bring him into the world. The fact that myself and many other people were confused at a second because the chair thing isn't always a thing in the comics. And I was
Oh,
like,
okay.
did they fucking paralyze Mr. Terrific? Nah, he's just working smarter, not harder. He
Yeah,
got up when he had to get up. It is what it is.
it helps him be mobile too, I guess. Just like it makes more sense to have that in the air. Maybe.
It also had obviously his big fight scene has the 2 James Gunn music drops.
Yeah.
This isn't, there are so many people that were scared about this being a Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack because like,
Yeah.
that's not Superman. And you're right, it's not. And they did it very well. But he's still James Gunn and he has 2 music drops. And it says something that not only were they perfect, that those songs have skyrocketed to the modern day charts as
Yeah.
songs that are not like, people are all in on this music and the way it made them feel and the way it worked for the film. I've listened to 5 Years Time, a song I'd never heard in my life. Apparently it was a hit in Britain, like a proper
Yeah.
hit in the 2000s.
Hmm.
I've listened to that song so much. And also, did you see the quote from Iggy Pop about punk rocker?
No, I didn't.
That's a cover of a song. I didn't
Yep.
know it. I'm not going to sit here and
Yep.
say I knew it. Did you know the
Sure.
original? Because you're a hip, cool guy.
Yep. I did. So
All right.
for
Well,
a different reason, which I can explain in a minute. But go ahead.
okay, great. Well, they reached out to Iggy Pop, who were like, hey, man, so on July 12th, that song had a total of 190,000 streams, right? Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. That was the night of the opening.
Yeah.
The day before, it had 1,000 streams. So, like, that was, and it's only skyrocketed since then. But they asked him, how do you think this, what do you think about this happening? And he just responded, I always thought the track had soul. Superman's the best friend you could have. I was like, yeah, Iggy, get it.
Oh, Iggy. He's the best.
So,
No, we were traveling a lot over the past couple of weeks, vacations and other various things that just required us to be in the car a lot and going around on different Sirius channels. And that song was everywhere. It required like pushing to to get out. There's about 4 songs that is very clear that they're trying to push into the public consciousness. There's a new Counting Crow song, which is quite good. And I forget the other one. There's another My Morning Jacket song, and then it was that song. It was like, oh, man,
the
we could
punk
go
rocker
like 4
song, or
different
not
channels.
the 5 Years Out punk rocker?
No,
Okay.
yeah, the punk rocker song, yeah. So because since it's like it's not a cover, but it's
Right. But no, it's amazing though how just not knowing that, because I wasn't listening to proper radio or streaming at
right.
any point, I wanted to listen to the song again after the movie, right?
Yep.
Did you hear it in the movie and you're like, oh, did you know it was going to be in the movie based on the airplay it'd been getting?
No, yes, because they mentioned it, like the DJ mentioned it
Oh,
after the
okay.
fact. We're just like,
Like if you're just
also
like, oh,
getting,
I
yeah.
wasn't sure it
wouldn't
was
have
like
known
a
otherwise,
dawning moment of like, oh, now I get why it's been playing so much.
'Cause I'm trying to remember when does it come in? I remember it was over the credits, but when does it come
Literally
in?
the last scene.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
Because they have
And
the
it's a
stuff,
reference to when he says maybe that's the real punk rock when he's
Right.
having the conversation with Lois, right?
which, I saw a meme earlier that blew my mind, and I just thought, oh, that's so accurate. Kindness is the real punk rock is the Luke, I am your father of 2025. Because
Oh.
neither one of those movies are said, neither one of those lines are said in the movie. It's a variation, but it's being misquoted and misremembered forever from now on. So,
nice.
because the line is, maybe that's the real punk rock,
Right.
not kindness is the real punk rock.
But
But
you can't say
everyone's
maybe.
quoting it as the
Right.
other one. It's like,
If you say maybe that's a real punk rock, people are like, what are you talking about? So,
yeah. I'm just like, oh,
you have to give
shit.
the context.
But then the meme of that being like, yeah, this is our Empire Strikes Back line that's going to be misquoted for decades. And I was like, oh my
Nice.
God, they're right. They're right.
I
But
love
no,
it.
it was the very last scene after, and this is what I was kind of dancing around for some spoiler stuff. They do talk about his family. They do talk about his origin. You got, by the way, in the theater, when his parents show up for the first time, his Kryptonian parents, I
Yep.
was like, it was genuinely, I was like, I wish I had reading glasses on. I was like, is that Bradley Cooper?
Yeah.
Like, I'm staring at the screen.
I was
like,
pretty sure it was him, and then I thought for a second it was Anna Taylor-Joy as the mom, but it wasn't. It was
Between this and the Gemstones premiere, what is with Bradley Cooper just taking weird, random, one-off jobs? Good on him. If that's what he wants his career to be, not even full roles. Like, what's the one weird, fun thing I can do this weekend? You got a 2-day job for me? Because I'm in.
I mean, he's like, I was already in one comic universe. Why don't I join another one? Sure. He's Rocket's voice.
Oh my God, I forgot. I forgot about that, and that makes more sense. And also how he wound up here. Because I always just think about those scenes of Sean Gunn on the set, crouched down, playing Rocket on the set.
Yeah.
I do forget that him and Vin Diesel were voices. That makes so much more sense to why he even got involved with this, though. Because it feels less random now. It feels less random. I just not thought about it because I don't got your fancy book
I just made that connection right now. So yeah.
You're a genius, you are. Good job.
I am not.
So the twist of his parents were shithole people who really wanted him to conquer the planet.
Is that canon? Is that in the comics?
No, but I like it because his it plays in well with what Supergirl's going to be, I think. But I also like it because his father, his Kryptonian father, did become a supervillain. Even to this day, he's fucked up a lot of stuff. Not for this reasoning. It turned out he survived and he went bonkers and this and that and it's a whole thing. It's actually a storyline I kind of detest. It's like if you were to revive Uncle Ben. Stop it. Leave this character dead. It informs the character more. Like, it's all right, give me a minute on the clock instead of the full, so I don't go. Okay, you ready? I'm going to make this quick. There's an artist. Now, there's an artist named Brian Michael Bendis. He's a writer-artist who took over Superman a few years ago around Action Comics 1000 after doing amazing work with rejuvenating Spider-Man. However, he fucking tanked Superman. He brought his dad back as a supervillain, and all the work that he'd had. At the time, the comics were having Superman raise his 8-year-old son. And one of my favorite series on the planet was called The Adventures of the Super Sons, and it was, I'm almost there, 8-year-old Jonathan Kent being raised by his family, with 8-year-old or 10-year-old Damian Wayne being raised as Robin by Bruce Wayne Batman, and this dichotomy of they kind of hate each other, but they become best friends. Brian Michael Bendis ruined all of this when he took over. He shoved Jonathan Kent into space, aged him up into like a 30-year-old. So he's still around, but we lost his childhood. Brought Superman's evil dad back. Just ruined the status quo in a million different ways. Fuck you, Brian Michael Bendis. I want you to do Superman. I know I went a little over there. I should have said 90.
You didn't.
Sorry.
56.
Oh, great. I've really been trying to be concise on these things. I'm doing better.
It triggered something in my head as a question for you as a resource from the comics.
Please.
So Clark / Superman. Oh God, spoiler. Oh, we're in spoiler time.
Spoiler alert. Clark Kent Superman. Spoiler alert. Did you announce that spoiler alert in 1948 before his first feature film? Was there someone in the theater going, "Don't talk about this, Martha"?
Yes. So he aged naturally coming to Earth, correct?
Yeah.
So in the comics, does he continue to age naturally?
No.
Like,
not at all.
Okay.
And
so
even
that's just like Kryptonian or whatever. Like you can age to be an adult and then you stop.
Well,
so okay.
If he would age, he would age normally if he was back under a red sun. It's the yellow sun that does everything, every bonus in his life. His slow aging, his powers. The reason they rejuvenate him with the sun is because everything Superman has is based on the yellow sun. If he left Earth and was raised under or went to live under a red sun, his powers would drain. He'd age like a normal person.
No, and I get that. I'm just wondering why he aged normally for the first part of his life under a yellow sun.
Oh, I don't know. Fucking who knows?
Yeah.
Comic books. I don't know. Whatever. Just let me have that one. Yeah. I do have 2 thoughts on that.
Yeah.
One, the Superman and Lois TV show with Tyler Hoechlin, who is, this guy's obviously, David Cornsweat's amazing, but before him, and TV can be different, he is the best Superman since Christopher Reeve. The 5 seasons that Superman and Lois had are worth watching. Their budget got cut every year, but their performances just got better. So they were always fighting against what they could do versus what they were able to do, and blah, blah, blah. But my point being that one of the really touching stuff is in the finale, spoiler for 5 seasons of Superman and Lois. is they touch on the fact that he is going to outlive Lois, right? But his
Yeah.
kids who have superpowers or have his longevity. So there's just this really touching scene of him as an old man in Smallville finally just passing and his kids are there. And it's just really good. That's the Clark Kent, that's the Superman, that's the stuff I want. You know? It's just good stuff.
It's still fascinating, though, that someone who is invulnerable, right,
Yeah.
can still die biologically. Yeah, that's
I mean, you can be invulnerable when you get shot, but if you go eat a cheeseburger, you're getting the cholesterol. It's physiology. I'm not saying he died of cheeseburgers, although there's a lot of Big Bubba Burger advertisements in Metropolis.
his
So who knows?
Kryptonian metabolism is not so.
So 2 points from where we're at. We can go back and talk more of the cast, or I can continue on what we were talking about because it does tie into what I think Supergirl is going to be. You pick where you want to go.
Let's get to that second. So because I got a couple more notes on the cast, so I would love to dive into. So I think that it's kind of reiterating what you said, but Cornsweet is like the right mix for this. He has the wholesome part of it, but I kind of like that he's frustrated at the cynical world around him that doesn't live in that good or bad. They live in sort of the gray area, or they try to find ways to turn things into, things not to like for him, even though in his mind he's doing good.
So what I wanted to say to that, and this is where I get maybe into a little bit of that Snyder bashing or the universe bashing, is the way that they handle this is more realistic than the quote-unquote realistic version that they were trying to do with Snyder and what Cavill had to do. They tried to make him, what would Superman be in the absolute real world? Right. And he was a paragon who was sad all the time because of, he was never really happy, right? You didn't see him smile.
Right.
And this is realistic. He is Superman, but he's frustrated. He's annoyed. He's disappointed. He's a disappointed dad at the Earth.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And as opposed to the
world is not rising to his morality. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's not angry at them for that. I think Snyder's Superman would be frustrated and angry. He's frustrated and sad.
That's true. Moving on to Lois, I thought it was a really nice job by Rachel Brosnahan. I thought I did think there were a couple of times she was shifting into Miss Maisel a little bit, but
so I never watched, so I can't say.
Okay,
I have no idea.
So, but I'm okay with it. Like it started to have some of that, but maybe that's just kind of there are parallels between.
Is that
a
performance or okay? I was like performance-wise or like an accent or something I'm unaware of?
No. None of the performance kind of felt similar, but I mean, strong career-minded woman, like, trying to get ahead is one of the best at what she does. Like that there are parallels there. So it worked out okay, but maybe I'm just because there were 5 seasons of that, I just got so used to seeing her as that, and it's hard to, I was kind of trying to get rid of that the other way. Jimmy, is he a ladies' man in the comics? Because they really tried to make that a point in the movie.
It's funny because that's one of the things that I've never understood about those classic earlier things is, Jimmy's a cool fucking guy. Okay. And also, people know he's Superman's friend. So, like, he's just but they're not doing it from that regard. They like him, but he's got respect and he's cool. And he's never been, like, the take of him as, like, if I was in that universe, hey, Superman, that's always been a little outdated. It is what it is. Every take on Superman until now,
it's like there's one part where, like, 2 women are just, like, waving at him and stuff like that.
That is a little over the top.
Okay,
but to make him as the bow tie wearing nerd who couldn't get any, that is highly inaccurate as to modern juveniles.
Okay, yeah. No, and the Eve part I didn't think felt out of context. I think there's 2 instances of that where girls are either like fawning over him or like, distinctly waving at him or that type of stuff. And so I didn't know. Maybe that was just a little bit added a thing to just be to play in more to the when they're saying, really? Eve is your ex-girlfriend? So
I stand by. Yeah, I agree. But he is. I'm trying to think. There was a TikTok video I saw, and I can't remember who made it. So my apologies to that person. I think that they called him an accidental playboy, which is comics accurate. Where the fact that he's kind of playing into it more in the movie, I think, is the biggest difference. He's
Okay.
always pulling in the comics, but I think it's more, aloof about it.
Got it.
That type of thing.
Understood. Not,
So,
I didn't have an issue with it. I just was more like a little surprised by it, and
I
maybe
thought you were
just
going to
because
be like,
everything had.
Skylar Gazando's too ugly for this. I don't like Skylar Gazando. That's you. So.
Um, this isn't a casting thing, but more a plot narrative thing. It was a really nice slow burn with Crypto as, oh, he's a rambunctious dog. Oh, isn't that funny? He's messing with Mr. Terrific stuff. This is a funny, like, little side thing that Mr. Terrific has to be annoyed with, which is like a good look for him just to be funny. And then it turns out to be the way that he takes down Lex. I'm like, this is a nice, like, callback, full circle thing. It was really, really good. Like, it just wasn't, Crypto wasn't just in there for the fun of it. Like, it made sense within the narrative. I was really, there are times when narrative things happen in movies where I'm like, okay, like that was, I don't even know if it's clever. It's just like, it all ties together. I'm like, you set this up, you brought this into it, you introduced it, and you paid it off. And it's like that. I like when that happens narratively. And that was a really fun, satisfying part to the whole plot of the movie.
And it was without it feeling obvious that they were setting something up, which is key. Yeah.
They brought it up at times. It's like, yeah, well, because it's a dog, right? Like dogs could be rambunctious and just be crazy, and that's just funny. And like,
so I can't help myself because I do just love bashing on the Snyderverse more. I can't help it. I know what I'm about now. So we just talked about Jimmy Olsen and Crypto and how great is Crypto, which also, he's going to be in Supergirl, just like we said. Can't wait for that. But now, did you know that both Jimmy Olsen and Crypto were in Man of Steel?
No, and it's also been a long time since I've seen Man of Steel, but
the CIA agent who has his eye blown out in the beginning next to Lois, whose face is shot directly with a gun, Zack Snyder said that's Jimmy Olsen because Jimmy Olsen doesn't serve a purpose.
Oh, great.
But don't worry. Don't worry, Crypto's in there too. Don't you want to know what amazing thing Zack Snyder did with Crypto that you're unaware of?
I don't want to know.
This
but
quote just came out this past week. This is Zack Snyder was praising the new Superman. And he says, "Oh, Crypto, man, I love Crypto." Cool. So do we. Little known fact is we actually included Crypto in Man of Steel. There's a small gravestone you can see in Clark's backyard.
Oh, dear God.
There's a small gravestone you can see in Clark's backyard during his childhood sequences. And the idea was that Crypto was a normal Earth-based puppy. What do you think this sentence is going to end with? Because I guarantee you it's not what you think it's going to end with. But you tell me what you think the natural stopping point of this sentence is. A natural Earth-based puppy. Well, right, that he got hit or something happened, right?
Yeah.
And you bury the dog as you do. No.
Oh, God.
Let me dial back a sentence.
Did Clark accidentally kill him?
I wouldn't say accidentally. Clark's backyard during his childhood sequences, and the idea was that Crypto is a normal Earth-based puppy that Jonathan Kent put down in order to teach Clark about the fragility of life. Just a bit of background lore for you. Zack Snyder on Crypto and Superman 2025.
Why did he like making torture porn Superman?
Also, if you go back and watch Man of Steel, Jonathan Kent is the villain of that movie. Kevin Costner is the worst fucking character actor. Jonathan Kent. Kevin Costner, I'm sure you're a delight.
Yeah. Yes.
Paul Kent in that movie is when he does the Jurassic World hand thing to stop Superman, who has super speed, to save him from a tornado. No one else will see it happening. He's like, nah, chill, bro, chill. I think Clark would be like, don't worry, I wasn't planning on saving you because you killed my fucking dog. You killed my fucking dog. I was never going to save you.
And then buried him in the backyard with a headstone so I'll always remember.
Every time he'd walk by, Pa Kent would just be like, I wish I could do that to you. Humans are fragile. I'm going to get another dog and kill it so you understand.
Jesus.
What that crystal say? You're from Krypton? That dog's name is Crypto, and I fucking killed it. His name is Rover, Dad. No. Crypto. And he's fucking dead, just like your parents. You're not leaving me. That's how I imagine it happened off screen.
Yeah.
Brutal. Anyway, want to get back to the happy Superman?
You can fill this in a little bit better than I can. The engineer, is that one of Lex's kind of right hand people for a large portion of the comics. Great. I was not very unfamiliar with her, and it's a pretty terrifying asset to have if you're a bad guy.
She was not. I don't think she was ever a Lex Luthor
Oh, okay.
henchman. She was from.
Super
There's
villain.
there's this no, there's this. Time me 45 seconds. 30 minutes. There was a comics company called Wildstorm that went out of business or something. Was it the early 2000s? But they were creator owned by Warren Ellis and Brian Hitch. I'm going to piss off a lot of people. I never read a lot of Warren Ellis stuff. I know it was really popular. It was never for me. I love Brian Hitch's art, though. He did a great run on Justice League, actually. He draws an amazing Superman. Look up Brian Hitch's Superman. Top tier. However, this character was on a team called Stormwatch, which I think was the Authority. Basically, it was like this universe's Avengers or Justice League.
And that's the Planet Watch thing they're referencing. Got it. Okay.
Yes. So when DC bought Wildstorm, they folded those characters into the DC universe.
Got it.
So now they use, I think it's the first time they showed up on screen. They did a similar thing in the old DC animated shows of the 2000s. They brought them in when they had their DC expanded cartoon universe. The ones that like your classic Batman and Superman animated series were all a part of. But
no, she was definitely good to like the first 60% of this movie is kind of like, man, Superman seems screwed. Like, and she definitely added to that as a visible and, viable threat.
I was surprised because when they revealed the name of the guy as Ultraman, I immediately knew that was a clone of Superman as a comics fan. Because in the comics, it's a parallel universe Superman. But I instantly was like, they're not going to do that already. They're not going to they know better. So in my mind, instantly, I was like, that's a clone.
Yeah.
What I didn't expect was it to be a good-looking clone. I thought they were going to pull out Bizarro. Like it was going to be, melty white face. You know who Bizarro is? Have you seen Bizarro?
I do. I'm familiar. I looked it up for some reason. Maybe right after I did a Reddit and a Wikipedia dive after I watched the movie. Yeah. So
well, Bizarro's also been in a lot of. He tends to make it because it's just the Superman actor in like bad makeup. It's usually an easy villain for any production to pull off. So Bizarro has shown up in a lot of things. So I was thinking, they're going to do Bizarro, and I think they still might. Because spoiler, we're in spoilers. I shouldn't say it again. They junk him out like the alien in Alien and junk him out into space and shoot him out where he's going to be lost. I think he comes back in the next movie fucked up as Bizarro. I think it's going to be the same clone, lost in space, mind wrecked, physically drained, dying, whatever. And he's the same guy, but it's going to be your Bizarro take. Personally, there's genuinely no basis in that from anything. I just think I could see it happening.
Cool. That's I think that's about most of what I had for
the Daily Planet staff, underused but still enjoyable.
Wendell Pierce, great, always
Steve
great.
Lombard, Perry White, the guy from The Wire whose name I forget, Perry White.
Wendell Pierce. Yep.
Yeah, there you go. I didn't hear you say it. I was talking. My bad. I was very surprised to see them all with an action scene in Mr. Terrific ship, and it worked. It was fun. I did feel like Lois could have just done it without them, but it was still fun to have them along for the ride.
Yeah, Beck Bennett's fun as a kind of a scared shitless guy. Like that's a good role for him.
I've really enjoyed the press tour for this film. There's another difference between Fantastic Four and Superman, the press tour. The Superman press tour has been nothing but wholesome clips of them being friends and getting along and their group chats and this and that and that and this. The Fantastic Four group chat has been Pedro Pascal fatigue and people, I think, getting tired of him. And also people being tired of the jokes people make at him about, like, are you a daddy? Is Mr. Fantastic a daddy? And everyone's just like, we're very tired of this. Please stop. Which I think can honestly only hurt the film at that point.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm hoping that they get the...
I still think it's going to be good.
I really want it to be good. That's what I'm worried about. It's like I want it to be good, and I don't want it to be. If it's a 7.5, I don't want to be like thoroughly disappointed at the fact it's a 7.5, which isn't bad, like, and has room to grow for other things that they may be involved with in the future. But I think Superman didn't help because it's really good. So, but that's not. I mean, there's nothing they can do about that. So,
yep,
we'll hope for the best.
A couple more points on just the cast and takes and stuff. Watch some of those videos. I think that the Beck Bennett is apparently the punching bag on the group chat. It's fun. James Gunn not on any of the group chats, and he was a little offended. But they basically were just like, "You're our boss. You don't want our boss on the group chat. No offense."
Right.
And he's like, "Oh,
that's how
yeah,
that goes.
yeah," which that was fun. And then there was one other. Oh, put it bluntly, I thought Nicholas Hoult was gay. I didn't realize he has a wife. It is very straight. He is a fun, fancy man, and I genuinely just thought he was gay. He's not.
There you go.
That's me leaning into some terrible British stereotypes. So there we are. What do you got? Anything before we move on to a couple other points?
I don't think so. No, I just.
Oh, we didn't talk about Nathan Fillion, Guy Gardner. How amazing was he?
Of course, yes. He was really good, and that's where I actually
and
wrote
Isabella
that.
Merced as Hawkgirl also doing
yes, very fun. I did write in that that's what I want the Mr. Terrific movie to be. Is I want it to be a buddy movie with the Green Lantern. That's what I want for. I want the two of them together as like a buddy.
That'd be good.
A buddy cop movie, essentially.
And if it's not that, Gardner has to at least recur throughout, right? As developments happen, he's checking in or commenting.
It's just the fact that it was Nathan Fillion that insisted on the bowl cut, right? Like,
because that's comics accurate as you can get. That's as comics accurate as you can get.
And just some of the little things, like, so that version of the Green Lantern was kind of
people mock me. People
not a
mock
smarmy
me.
guy. That's the one you have.
But I have a little custom Lego minifig of Guy Gardner with the bowl cut. And he's got his little Lego ring. They don't make Guy Gardner. They have not yet made Green Lantern Lego minifigs. I have custom one, and I have a Guy Gardner.
And was he more like the sarcastic, arrogant one of all of them? Like, were they all kind of like that? Okay, so no.
Guy Gardner,
the giant middle fingers and all that stuff is completely accurate with that. Oh boy,
they vaguely hint at this, but they mention that he's part of a bigger thing in space. He has an oath, and they talk about like that he's connected to something bigger.
Yeah, very
clearly the Green Lantern Corps. But Earth has, in the comics, 6 Green Lanterns. In the movies and the rumors of the show, we're going to say they have 3 Green Lanterns, right?
Okay.
Guy, Hal, and John. And it sounds like Hal and John are out in space. And the reason it sounds like Guy's on Earth is because they left him there because they don't want to deal with him. Now, technically, Earth needs a Green Lantern in the space sector to protect it, right? That's the rules of the Green Lantern. Each space sector gets a Green Lantern. But they could have made it someone else. The vibe I'm getting from how they're plotting this interview is the reason Guy is the Earth Green Lantern instead of maybe even one of the more well-known ones is because they left him there while they went to do other things, which really tracks.
All the more reason I want the buddy cop movie with Mr. Terrific, because there's the two of them together for 90 minutes is what I want to see.
Looking forward though to other DCU. Supergirl. One of the things I was dialing back on, one of the reasons I was going to say I like this change of Jor-El is one of the aspects of Supergirl's characters in the comics in recent years. I read this years ago, so I hope I'm not getting it wrong. There is a run called Woman of Tomorrow, which I believe is what a lot of this is going to be based off of, to the point where it was originally a subtitle before they decided they were going to get rid of subtitles. Supergirl was sent to Earth much older than baby Kal-El. So, I forget, was it Kara Zor-El. Kara was a teenager. So she lived her life on Krypton. She knew her parents. She lived her life. The only reason she didn't show up to be the protector of Kal-El is something happened to her rocket and she got pushed over here and his made it on time, basically. Okay. So by the time she got to Earth, however they wind up doing it, who cares? By the time she got to Earth, he had grown up and she was still a teenager. And so that's how they do that disparity. What I like about it is how I could see this going in the films is in the comics, she becomes of drinking age, but is miserable because she still remembers her life. She wants Krypton. She misses Krypton. She wants her family back and she can't do it. So she leaves Earth and just kind of becomes a wandering booze hound on red sun planets where it can affect her. The added twist that I think these movies might put in is she can't stand to be on Earth or around her cousin because she knows her what his parents said and were terrible.
Oh.
Nothing of that is said. None of that is confirmed. But wouldn't that be a twist that part of the reason why they're not close, why she's running off, why she's drinking troubles away, is not just her memories, but of what she couldn't tell her cousin?
Yeah.
I think that would be a
Pretty
really
wild.
interesting spin on it.
I do know that I need the opening scene to be hard partying Supergirl at a red sun planet bar.
And then you talked about characters that you want to see in her movie, or more characters. Bromigo. You didn't even catch the casting announcement, did you? There's a part of me that wants to not spoil it. There's a part of me that wants you to be surprised, but I'm going to fucking spoil it because the hype of it, I think, will be just as good.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of a character named Lobo?
Vaguely, but please.
Lobo is the hardest partying, meanest motherfucker. He is every Hell's Angel biker gang member who just wants to pound beer and fight and ride his motorcycle. But he's an inter-galaxy space bounty hunter. He is pale, ghostly dead white with long flowing locks, a big beard, leather jacket, and muscles to here.
Mm-hmm.
Guess who they hired to play him? Jason Momoa. Because they wanted him because he is Lobo. When he was doing press for Aquaman, he had said, the character I always really wanted to be was Lobo, because I am Lobo.
Oh, nice.
So they hired him to be Lobo, because he's just going to play himself as a big, drunken, burly bouncer motorcycle rider who is drunk in space. And I can't wait. Yeah.
That sounds like fun. So
I think it is. I think it is. And it also shows, because there had been rumors that they've talked to Henry Cavill, or maybe just James Gunn said he was open to it. I could be wrong. It's not a rumor. That they're like, listen, this isn't a you played in the old sandbox, you can't play in ours.
Right.
You can be a different character. You can be someone, maybe even someone that is a better fit, as in Lobo and Jason Momoa. You never know. But I think it'll be fascinating. I also love Space DC, because Space DC is where DC gets real weird. They get real fucking bizarre. I think we see more Green Lanterns, because Green Lanterns are primarily space-based. There's a different Green Lantern for every space sector. Oh, we didn't talk about the squirrel scene where Superman rescues the squirrel. All I could think was, I need this squirrel. Not this squirrel. It won't be this squirrel. There's a Green Lantern that is a squirrel called Chip.
Okay.
And
that one is the one.
Here's the thing. The prerequisite to being a Green Lantern is to have strong willpower, and also, when a Green Lantern ring comes down from the heavens to welcome you into the Green Lantern Corps, it floats in front of you and announces, hello, so-and-so of Space Sector so-and-so. You have the ability to overcome great fear, and you are being invited to the Green Lantern Corps. The prerequisite is to overcome great fear. That squirrel didn't flinch, baby.
Yeah.
That squirrel didn't flinch. That squirrel didn't move. Superman, I don't know if it was confidence or ignorance, but there was no fear. Come on into the Green Lantern Corps, baby.
Chip saved.
Yeah. It'd be good.
Great.
Yeah. Any other things you're looking forward to or want to talk about, or just maybe we haven't discussed that you're like, I have a point or two for the movie?
No, I mean, because this was, as I said, I'm not a big comics person in terms of knowledge, and so and I know much less about Superman really than I do about Batman or other stuff in the Marvel universe. So this was a nice kind of palate cleanser for me, or just like feeding me information to get me ready to whatever's coming next. So I'm excited that I could be excited for both, right? Like, I want Marvel to keep going with what they're doing, or reboot, not reboot, but get back a little bit, right, into the excitement that we had mid 2010s. And if we can get to that point with both, awesome. Great. Superhero movies are fun to watch. So if there are two universes that are simultaneously making good stuff, that's not a bad thing.
No argument here. Absolutely agreed. So I have one other thing I wanted to get on, but I do have a question for you before I do that last thing.
Mm-hmm.
You just mentioned like that you didn't know Superman as much as these other characters, et cetera, et cetera. Was it strictly because of the quality of the films for most of your adult life, or was there just something that didn't draw you to the character overall?
It must have been the pull too of Batman the Animated Series, was on when I was a preteen slash teenager. And that was such a big thing that I watched that completely. And so I had Batman awareness. And again, I just never read comics. I think that's part of it too. So
No
if I
Superman
had,
the animated series for you. It takes place in the
I
same
didn't,
animated universe.
I
All right.
didn't.
It's
And I
good.
think
It's worth your
is
time. It's on
it's
HBO Max. It's a very breezy and entertaining watch. And they all coalesce into the best comic book cartoon show ever made, Justice League.
yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was the time frame, and we've had discussions about that before. That just
Yeah.
because you're a little bit younger than I am, so it's like when it was tailored towards certain things. Maybe I was just a little bit older, and there was a couple other things going on at the
Totally
time
fair.
in my life that I was doing stuff when it was on. Because it was on. Was it on afternoons or was it on Saturday mornings or when
It
was
was
that?
afternoons after school, like Kids
Okay,
WB type shit. Yeah.
gotcha.
So that said, I am going to put you on the spot. I found a Superman trivia quiz.
Go ahead.
However, it claimed to be the ultimate quiz. To me, I looked at this and I thought, this is like nothing. This is everyone knows this who's seen a Superman movie or two, right?
Okay.
It's how I took it. But now I would like to, give it to you.
Embarrass me? Yes, got it.
No. I think you'll be better off.
All right.
So we all know that Superman identifies as Clark Kent. But what is his actual alien Kryptonian name?
Kal-El.
Nailed it. Great job. What planet does Kal-El hail from?
Krypton?
Yeah, baby. You're crushing it.
Okay.
What do you see? See?
How many
What?
questions are there?
I think 10.
Okay. I was
What?
putting the over-under at 3.5 on this.
Okay.
But...
Yeah. What were the name, or are the name, depending on the
Oh.
adaptation? By the way, in this regard, we didn't talk about them. How great were his adoptive parents from Smallville,
Mhm.
and how great was that they're still alive at the end of the film for him to have. But what are their names?
Martha and Jonathan.
Perfect. All of
Jonathan, you
these-
gave me earlier in the
yes,
in the
and Martha, you
podcast.
probably know because of Martha. Martha, say her name. Donna's Batman vs Superman. I was thinking.
Oh, right. Oh, God.
Martha. And I've said this one several times.
What was the guy?
what do you
I'm
got?
derailing very briefly. The guy that played Jonathan Kent. He's been in a bunch of stuff, right? Like that's
not a clue.
okay.
Not a
Okay.
single clue. Kevin Costner. That's Psychopathic Evil Pocket, the new one. But what small town did Superman grow up in?
I mean, you're giving it away, but Smallville, and it's in Kansas, right?
Damn right. Good work.
So that's another sidetrack. These are good because they get into other little things that. So is Gotham City definitely in New York?
No,
in
New
the
York
comics?
is its
Okay.
own thing.
Okay.
New York, Metropolis, and Gotham are 3 different cities.
Well, and then they said that, I mean, it could just be where her car is from, but Lois's car had a Delaware plate on it in the movie.
Well, I mean, all 50 states exist in, the DC Comics universe. I don't think they've ever directly said what state Metropolis is in. They do say that with a lot, or Gotham. They do.
I mean, if
weirdly
it's Delaware,
say,
it could be like Philly. It could be like closer to there. So
I think it might be. And they do say a lot of things like weirdly other stuff like the Flash's home cities. Like the Barry Allen Flash is from I think Missouri, and the Wally West Flash is from Kansas. And like their comic book cities, which are fake, Central City, what's the other one? I don't remember the other one. But they, Keystone City, are fairly clearly to be like, yeah, they're in Kansas. They're like, they've given those states.
a lot of superhero stuff in Kansas.
Yeah. Well, that's actually part of the gimmick of the fact that he's the Flash and he lives in Kansas is because he can just get anywhere he needs to at any time.
Mm,
So he's just wherever he needs to be. He
that's
lives in
true.
Kansas. It's chill, it's small, it's flat, it's quiet. He and then he buzzes off when he needs to
Yep,
go somewhere.
that's true.
It's a very interesting way to put him dead center where there's nothing, so you can just go. What state is Gotham City in? Ha! That kind of tracks. Now, as much as I hate the AI Google responses these days, I'm just going to call it without giving deeper thing.
Yeah.
Oh, this says it in a wiki as well. Gotham is traditionally depicted as being in New Jersey. So that I feel like that tracks.
Yeah.
What state is Metropolis in DC Comics? Look at you. In DC Comics, the location of Metropolis has varied over time, but it's often portrayed as either being in New York State or Delaware.
Okay.
So there you
So
go.
that's why I mean, I know there were a lot of touches that Gunn was trying to put in the movie that were as accurate as possible. So that's why they had that one part. Cool.
That makes sense. And especially as much as they can have difference, if you're in that New York, New Jersey, Delaware, like it's that northeastern range that
Sure.
can all be together. So back to the quiz. So you're on that was question 4, Smallville.
Okay.
So you're 4 for 4 so far.
All right.
And this, you better not fuck this up.
Oh boy.
What is the name of the newspaper Clark Kent works for?
The Daily Planet.
Yeah, exactly. This one is your first challenge.
Oh boy.
But it has been directly referenced in the first 2 Reeve Superman movies. It was it was definitely in Man of Steel. It was in, this has been in a lot of lore and media you would have seen and experienced.
All right.
What is the name of the interdimensional prison they send the Kryptonian villains to? The
Void. That's not right.
no,
I'm even transparent. I've disappointed you. What is it?
the Phantom Zone.
The Phantom Zone. Okay.
Does it trigger at least when you've heard it?
Very,
not.
very
Okay.
vaguely, way in the back. So,
Understood. This one is ripped straight from the comics, but it's a true or false.
okay.
Has Lex Luthor run for president?
True.
Yes. In 2000, in the comics, before we even knew of the election difficulty they would have with hanging chads,
Right.
Lex Luthor ran and won the presidency in the year 2000.
Okay.
And correct, he was corrupt enough to get caught, so better than our current age.
Good Lord.
What year was Superman the movie released? We already said this one.
78, right?
Yeah. What mineral makes Superman weak?
Kryptonite.
Yeah. What superhero team is Superman a part of?
Justice League.
Yeah.
Mm.
Dude, you got 9 out of 10. The only one you missed was the Phantom.
You're right. Those weren't overly. Yeah, those were very
those were
basic knowledge ones. So
that's why we're going to go harder and do one more. I
Oh,
need you.
that was to set me up.
Yes. There are. And I'm not going to name, let's see. I'm looking at a list of 12 live action Superman actors. But, hang on.
Okay.
I only need you to name 7 of them.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not gonna Smallville. I'm gonna be way out
There
on
are
so, but
12 live action Superman actors between TV and film. No animated series, no direct to whatevers, TV, film.
all right.
There are 12, name 7.
The original was George Reeves, right? Wasn't that his name?
He is actually technically the second, but you are correct.
Okay,
That is one.
gotcha.
He is the 50s TV Superman.
Got it. Christopher Reeve.
Yep, that's 2.
Brandon Ruth.
That's 3.
David
That's including the current.
David Cornsweet.
Yeah, that's 4.
Why am I blanking? Cavill. Henry Cavill.
That's 5.
Oh God.
There are
Dean
3.
Dean Cain.
Yep, there's 6. And I've literally said the name of the other guy in this show, the most recent TV Superman.
I know, and I wasn't paying attention.
Or you can give me the Smallville actor if you can remember his name.
So you said there's 12, and I've given you 6?
Yep. I just need one more, and I'll call it a win.
Oh, man. Thinking.
I'm going to give you, hang on. I'm going to give you, I don't know, let's call it 20 seconds, top of the minute.
Okay. Let me run through anything else that I would potentially maybe think of.
3,
I don't have
2,
it.
1.
I thought I'd get there.
Smallville's Clark Kent was played by Tom Welling.
Okay.
And Tyler Hoechlin played Superman and Lois Superman, who I just mentioned.
Said.
Yes.
Yep.
Put some respect on his name. He's so good. He's so good.
Yes. I haven't seen it, so
I know. Fair enough.
I'm not disrespecting.
No, not to you. I just want everyone to have seen it.
Gotcha.
It's so good.
So there was 4 more. What are the other 4?
Kirk Alyn played the first ever live-action Superman in 1948 to 1950, I believe, in 3 live-action movies. George Reeve actually did 1 live-action movie before the TV show.
Okay.
So he took over and did the show.
Yep.
Then obviously you have a good 20-year gap between George Reeves and Christopher Reeve. And these are the 2 you were never going to get, which is why I was like, I'm never going to. And I wouldn't have gotten them, frankly, because I forgot they existed till I saw them. There was a Superboy television show in the 80s that ran from 88 until 92, believe it or not, and was canceled before the Dean Cain, Lois and Clark show started. John Hames Newton and Gerard Christopher. Fun fact about the Gerard Christopher Superboy. He is a very good-looking Superman. He looks like Superman. He was Superboy from 89 to 92. He auditioned for Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman, which debuted in 93. He got the part. They called him back and said, "You've already been Superman." And they went, "Yeah." And they went, "You're fired." And they fired him. And they hired Dean Cain.
What a wonderful reason.
Yes, exactly. So, and also Dean Cain has become a bizarre, insane person. We didn't even talk on his bullshit. Right. Yes, Superman's woke for good fucking reason, because being woke means you've awakened yourselves to new and better ideas, and he's had those. You're not asleep in a dumb fuck of dumb fuckery. Cheers, Dean Cain. So, anyway. And then obviously Tom Welling, Brandon Ruth. Yep. And then the one that I didn't mention, to me, is a cheat. But it's in here, and it's technically true, and he did do a costume fitting, and he did do 3 hours on set. Did you ever see the god-awful, terrible Flash movie?
Parts of it. It was like on HBO or something.
Did you see the awful all CGI finale where they do all the multiverse Supermen?
Oh, no.
It's deeply terrible with deeply disrespectful CGI. Like, they resurrect Helen Slater and Christopher Reeve without permission from the families. They just CGI'd them and put them in the movie, and the family's like, "You didn't tell us you were going to do that." It's real bad.
Yikes.
To that point, they did include, have you heard, you remember the stories about how Tim Burton was going to do a Superman with Nicolas Cage? And it never happened, but there's footage of like test fittings and stuff.
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage is Superman in this movie for a cameo.
Okay.
He did a costume fitting. He did 1 day on set, and he actually complained and said, "They didn't use anything I did on set. That is a complete CGI fake of me."
Huh.
So the day he didn't do anything that they had him do in the movie. It's deeply terrible and really bad. But he is technically a live-action Superman.
Okay.
So there's your 12.
I should have just thrown that in there just because he's in everything. So
honest to God, there was a part of me that thought it was going to be a sarcastic saying. And I was going to be like, nope, you got it. Simply based on like the Kevin Smith story and the Tim Burton stuff. You did pretty good, all things considered. I think we'll wrap this up, though. I think you didn't do super. You did pretty good. I should have said that first. Can I cut that in? Mike, cut that in? Later editing, Mike, make me sound wittier.
All right,
Thank you.
So I need a shield that has a PG on it.
Nope, we're not doing edits. We're not doing your visual edits. Have a nice day.
I'm saying that's where it would be if there was a PG. I'm not making Garbage Matt and me. Yeah, so.
I thought you were trying to do the thing where you make me have to make an animation.
I don't take notes, right? That's your thing. Yes, you've made that clear.
The problem is I stopped taking notes because I did them and I got tired because I would do too much work taking the note. I don't take notes because I got tired of taking the notes.
You can just do a full thing over my head that just is the shield that has a PG on it. So pretty good, man.
You know what? That I'll do. Yeah. If you're watching
that one's
YouTube
pretty easy.
Version, Randy's face for the last 90 seconds or so has been covered by a really poorly MS Paint version. I didn't even go to Photoshop. It's an MS Paint version of me writing P and G in a triangle. It's really good. It's going to look great. Hey, you want to wind this down and get out of here?
Yeah, I think I need like an 8-bit like knockoff Superman theme too. So, but which we didn't talk about. Oh, they used the John
Oh,
Williams theme.
you're
So like
right.
like which made it so good. So
We
what a
briefly
way to
touched
end
on
it.
them
So
using music and not just pop music, but you're right.
yeah.
The there is something about, I feel like there was a thought. We'll wrap it up for this. There was a thought for a long time. I thought like they needed to get away from music, establish their own thing, and I guess maybe you
Mm-mm.
could. But when a character has an iconic theme, I think you do moving forward, like what James Gunn did and his composers did. I'm sorry I didn't look up his composer. Yes, you use the theme, but you put the spin on it to adapt it for your version of the character.
Yep,
It'll be
absolutely.
like casting Bond. You always have the Bond theme.
Yep,
You just have a new Bond. You can now always have the Superman theme. How do we hear it that first time? It's okay to do that.
totally.
We shall wind it down. You're even better than pretty good. You were. Wait, is all right better or worse than pretty good?
Marginally better, I guess. So
Okay, let's shut it down. Social media plugs, Mike Barcode, TikTok, Instagram. Shoot me an email. We'll talk about the show. There was a 5-star review that I had read in an episode that got caught for technical difficulties. It was on our, I forgot which one it was. I had said it. Do you remember? Super Fights? Different one? I don't know. It was on the Weird and Pointless Brackets episode for like a month ago. We tried to get the shout out sooner. It was from PTA Mira729 on Spotify. We love a positive review. Good 5 stars. Helps the algorithm. Thank you so much. We've joked a lot in the past about how we've been taking gaps this year for different reasons. It had to happen again. I dealt with some stuff. Randy was on vacation.
mhm.
We will try to keep moving forward as much as we can, as often as we can, for the people that, even if it's a small audience, are our audience. And we appreciate you being there.
Absolutely.
As always, I will give Randall the final word.
Hopefully this will be pretty good enough. Goodbye, everybody.